overview, and then we're going to go through accessing iSupplier portal and online bidding. We'll go through how to register, how to view bids and solicitations, and how to respond to bids and solicitations, and then we can cover any questions. Our DPS mission statement is that we are the contracting authority for the procurement of goods and services for the city of Chicago. We work together as a team and with our customers to guarantee an open, fair, and timely process by establishing, communicating, and enforcing superior business practices. eProcurement was established in 2017. It's the city's financial management procurement system, which is AKA FMPS, so that's what we generally refer to it as. It's an Oracle-based system, and that applies web technology to the acquisition of goods and services. The iSupplier portal is the full-service resource for vendors doing business with the city of Chicago. All bids, RFPs, and RFQs are electronic, and they're advertised through eProcurement. You must be a registered vendor to access the iSupplier portal online eProcurement system for all purchasing activities. So while you can view any open bids that are out there, you cannot respond to them unless you are a registered vendor. So that's why it's important to become a registered vendor with the city. As a registered vendor in the iSupplier portal, you'll be able to view and respond to bids and solicitations online. You can also view your orders, payments, and invoices from the past and present. And then it also allows you to update your company information. So contacts, address, phone, email, all those things are self-service within the iSupplier portal. You submit them, whatever changes you'd like to make, and then someone from the city does have to approve it, but generally that happens within 24 to 48 hours. To assist vendors with the transition to iSupplier portal and the online bidding process, the city developed the eProcurement microsite. It's a website that is basically like a how-to manual for eProcurement. The web address is www.chicago.gov/eProcurement. We do want to make sure that you know that your information is secure in the iSupplier portal. Your information secure, the city takes security seriously and ensures all information is encrypted. The city uses HTTPS, so that's a protocol for secure communication. All bid solicitations are not visible to employees or other vendors prior to bid opening. Your active bid is secure, so no one can see what you're bidding until after the bid opening. So login and registration for first-time vendor registration. Existing vendors with the city of Chicago. So if you have a vendor number, click on the request and iSupplier invitation button to direct your request to customer support. If you're a new vendor that does not have an existing city vendor number, so you've never done business with the city, you're a brand new vendor, you can click on the new vendor registration button. For all new vendors that are going to register, we do require a W-9 form with your FEIN or your tax ID attached as a PDF. So if that's not attached to your registration, we will send that back to you and request that so that we can verify your FEIN, verify your business name, and then we can create a vendor account for you. So you get a vendor number and an online login account. The legal business name of the company must match the company's name on the W-9, FEIN, tax ID form, or your registration request will be returned.
Sorry, Fiona. I think some folks might be having trouble hearing you. So I don't know if maybe it's just like a volume thing, because I think that they can hear you just not super well.
Okay, let me see if I can. I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second and see if I can adjust this. Okay, is that any better?
Folks, if you're still having trouble, go ahead and say something in the chat. But otherwise, I can hear you fine, Fiona. So maybe if you're still having trouble, try raising the volume on your end because it looks like maybe we might be at full volume on our end.
Okay, I'm going to share again. And I will make sure to speak as loudly as I can. So this is an example. This is a picture of what the microsite looks like. This is what you can use to navigate the iSupplier portal. We have different tabs. This is the home tab. We have a login registration tab, a current bids and solicitation opportunity. So you can see all of the bids that are currently open and available that you can bid on with the City of Chicago through Department of Procurement Services. Then we have online training materials, and then we have a section for delegate agencies, and then a help section. And we're going to go through these different tabs now. So vendor registration, this is where either if you are a vendor or not that you would come to. So there's two separate processes, which we discussed earlier. We would like to reinforce to you that if you have done business with one of our sister agencies, like city colleges, CHA, the Park District, public schools, CTA, that doesn't mean that you're a registered vendor with the City of Chicago. We all have separate registration systems. So just because you've done business with one will not mean that you're registered to do business with the other. So you would hit the request iSupplier invitation to get the invitation. If you're a new vendor with the City of Chicago, you would click on the new vendor registration, and that's how you'll be prompted to upload a PDF of your W-9 with your FEIN and your business name. And then onto the current bids and solicitation opportunities tab. This is where you can see all of the bids that would be available by clicking on this button. That will take you to our abstract page, which we will show you shortly. Here on this page, you can also see at this link, you can see all the companies that have attended pre-bid or pre-submittal conferences. So if you are looking to see who might be bidding on a bid or who's interested in a bid, you can see that information there. We have a few, they're not technically non-e-procurement bids, but sometimes we have issues with the document size. So we post some non-e-procurement bid and solicitation opportunities here. And you might also find occasionally things that other agencies have asked us to post there. So it's always good to take a look at that. But all of the bids that DPS is putting out, you can locate here at the eProcurement bid and solicitations opportunities. And I'll show you that abstract page will be coming up in the presentation shortly. So when you click on that page, you're going to get this page will come up. This link here, the download the bid opportunity list, that will link you to a PDF. This is updated weekly with new bid opportunities. So you can check it every week. There's also a link to it that goes out in our DPS alerts. So it's always good to sign up for that because you'll get an email every week letting you know about everything that's going on. And one of the things that'll be linked there is this bid opportunity list. This link here will also take you to the abstract page. So now we're going to jump back for 1 second and show you how you can see awarded contracts. Just to give you an idea of what we do and what kind of contracts are already out there. By visiting our website, you can go to Contract Administration and Awarded Contracts. And then we're back to the current bids and solicitations opportunities. And this is, when you click on this button here, it brings you to the abstract page. And the abstract page is what we refer to as, this is the listing of all active, closed, or canceled bids that have gone out. So currently this screenshot is showing you active agreements, but if you wanted to change that status, you could see bids that had been out there previously that are closed or canceled. So when you click on, I'll go back for a second. So if you click on this little details button right here, this is a little button when you're actually on the website. It will open this page here and it will give you more information regarding the RFQ. You'll see details about the advertisement date, the supplier response start date and due date. If this was in a protected market, if this was a target market, that would be indicated here, or SBI, you would see that information listed here. We also have the specification number and the solicitation title that are contained here. Down here, we'll see more information about the pre-solicitation meeting. So if you do see a bid and you're interested in possibly bidding on it, or at least learning more information, it's always good to attend the pre-bid or pre-solicitation conference, because there's a lot of details that may be given out there. You have a chance to ask questions, which then will be formally responded to so everyone can see. So this is always a good way to get a better idea if the bid is something that would work, that you would want to bid on. This is bringing you to the iSupplier login page. Excuse me. So once you are registered and you have a login, your username is always your email. And then your password, you can set yourself once you've set up your account. Initially, you receive a temporary password in the email, and then that directs you to change it to something more permanent that you will be able to remember. Once you log in here, this is the first screen that you'll see on your homepage. You should always make sure when you log in for the first time, especially, that you have these two folders. You should see one that says City of Chicago, iSupplier Portal with invoice creation, and one that says City of Chicago online bidding. For any reason, if you don't see one of these folders, please contact us and I'll give you specific information about who to call or email regarding those issues later in the demonstration. But it's important for you to have both of these folders, because without the City of Chicago online bidding folder, you cannot bid on any solicitations. So this is some more information. This particular work list is currently empty because there are no conversations or items that you're working on. But if you had started to submit a bid and it was in draft format, you would see that here. Or if you were actively in the process of completing and submitted a bid and there was a change, they were going to put out an addendum to make some change to that bid, the procurement specialist would send you an online discussion and you would see that notification here as well. So the work list is always important. It's kind of like your notification view, like, hey, this is going on with this bid, or hey, you need to look at this. So that's always important to pay attention to once you're in the system. So just going through a little bit, explaining what some of these numbers and things mean. So the response number is the number received when a solicitation has been saved. So that number is specific to you for that specific solicitation. The response status occurs with an action. So if you have an active bid that's submitted, draft means that you began it, but you have not submitted it yet. So you saved it, it's still in draft status, so you can still work on it, but it has not been officially submitted. And then resubmission required. So the resubmission status will occur if an addendum has been issued. So let's say you've already submitted a bid and said, I want to bid $10 on this. But in the meantime, we have now issued an addendum, possibly to extend the date or make some change to the specification. Addendums can be issued for many reasons, but when an addendum is issued, you do need to acknowledge receipt of the addendum. So that's why you'll see resubmission required. The supplier site column is not used by DPS, but the solicitation number is the number for the RFQ. So that's a number that you see here. Here is the title. It starts with the specification number and then a colon and then the title or subject of the RFQ. Type is just terminology for e-procurement solicitations. All solicitations will be RFQs as far as type goes. Time left is the number of days remaining before the due date. So these all say 0 seconds, but if there were 2 days, it would say that. If there was 23 hours or 23 minutes, it would indicate that number. Monitor can be used to see the activity for the RFQ. So you can see if there was, how many bids there were, there would be an indication here for monitor. If there's no bids, the monitor is blank. Unread messages. Messages are sent via the online discussion by the DPS procurement specialist conducting the RFQ. So you're able to read and respond to those within online discussion. So these are some ways that you can search either to see for open solicitations, to see if you want to bid on it, have you bid on it, what the status is. So if you search by title, that's the specification number. If you choose number here, which is the second entry, that's the RFQ number. So these are the primary methods to search for an RFQ. Those are the easiest way to locate them, either RFQ number or spec number. Now we've searched for the RFQ number. It's brought up this one for asphalt primers and we want to respond to it. So you have to click select and respond. If you don't hit the select radio button, you're going to get an error message. Even though that's the only one there, you still have to select it and then hit respond. Once you've hit the respond button, it's going to bring you to the terms and conditions. These are some basic terms that the city is putting out, that the city makes no representations or warranties that the electronic procurement system utilized by the city or any procurement will accurately and timely transmit any bidder's bid or proposal or any other information to the city. All bidders use this system at their own risk. The city disclaims all liability that may result and arise from the use of any bidder of the procurement system, including claims for lost profits and consequential damages. So you have to accept the terms and conditions. Your firm is added to the takeout list. So you have to check this box and then you hit accept. And then once you're on the takeout list, you're automatically going to receive updates or notifications if any changes are made to the bid. And this is what the bidding page will look like. When you come in, we're on the header tab right now. And these are the different things that you need to fill out. So there's a whole list of questions. Here are some of them in the screenshot. It is a requirement that you respond yes or no to all of these questions. If you do not respond, you're going to get an error message when you try and submit your bid proposal. So you have to say yes or no. And sometimes it can be a little tricky because you're all the way at the bottom, you're trying to hit submit or it's grayed out and you can't move forward. And it's because one of these questions or one of these boxes has been left empty. So it's an important thing to remember. There's also a place where you can add attachments. There will be required documents that have been listed in the checklist that you have to add. for each bid. And you add those attachments by clicking on the Add Attachment button, then clicking on File and then Browse, and you can navigate to where your file resides and then hit Save. On the Lines tab is where you'll get the opportunity to enter a bid amount for each line that is in the solicitation. And the quantities will be listed, the price will be listed here under Quote Price. So here you've answered all the questions, you've entered numbers, and now you have a saved quote. So this is your quote number. So that is specific to you and to what you have submitted for this RFQ. Responses must be submitted through eProcurement. Surrogate or paper responses are not allowed. Addenda have to be acknowledged in the system and provided acknowledgement forms, if any. Fill out the PDF forms, scan and upload as an attachment. Also, remember that you have to fill in the total price in the line provided. Submit detailed pricing on the sheets provided. And for RFPs, you would enter 0.01 and enter the pricing on the sheets provided. For groups, some solicitations provide for bidding groups, where a bidder can bid on one or more groups. In order to enter a no bid for one of those groups, you would enter this number, the 0 digits and a 1 for all lines in the group. So say this particular solicitation has 3 groups. So we have group A, group B, and group C. And you only want to bid on group A and B. You would enter your bids for those groups, but for group C, which you don't want to bid on, you would enter this number in the line. That would indicate a no bid. The system will not accept zeros in the lines. You'll keep getting error messages and you will not be able to move forward. While you're completing any documentation, while you're registering, while you're completing a bid or searching for a bid or trying to do anything within iSupplier, if you encounter an issue, you can always contact the eProcurement Help Desk. The number is 312-744-HELP, or you can email at customersupport@cityofchicago.org. The help desk for the phone number, it's only open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. Email you can send anytime. And then we will follow up with you. If the help desk can't help you, then they will escalate the ticket to someone else who can. So here is an example of how we would use online discussion. So here is the RFQ that's been submitted and actions. We see online discussion. You would choose online discussion and hit go. And then you would choose new message. As you can see, here are some messages that were already existing that have gone back and forth. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. And after clicking new message, you can submit this message to the procurement specialist and they can respond to you. So this is the way you would ask questions or have them answered for the solicitation. When you acknowledge this, you're added to the takeout list for the solicitation. And you have to, this amendment has been made, so an addendum has been made to this negotiation, and you need to acknowledge it if you want to move forward, or say no if you do not want to proceed. Make sure you completed electronic signature. If you didn't do this, your submission is still a draft and is not valid. Look for the quote status of active. That's the most important thing. You'll receive a confirmation email the next day at 7:30 a.m. So if you submit a bid today, you'll receive the confirmation email tomorrow at 7:30. You must still check for addenda that may be issued after you receive your confirmation. And that would be indicated on the solicitations page by that resubmission required status. And this is what the confirmation email will look like, similar to this. There's a lot of information on the online training materials tab. We have information about registration and updating your profile. So lots of things about adding new addresses or adding new contacts, updating or deleting addresses. All of those things are covered here under registration and profile updates. And then supplier response submission. This will take you through step by step on how to submit a response, about the addenda process, how to review the documents. So there's lots of videos and training documents available there. You can access that help page in the iSupplier portal. And again, we did discuss this, but if you have questions about registration or anything to do with iSupplier, you can always contact the help desk at 312-744-HELP or email customer support at cityofchicago.gov. Again, that phone number is only available Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30. But the training materials in the email is always available to you. Does anyone have any questions?
Feel free to type those questions in the Q&A, folks. And if you're having trouble finding the Q&A, you can go ahead and put it in the chat if that's easier for you. I know there was a lot of information all at once. Doesn't look like we're getting any questions. Nothing's come in. But like I mentioned at the top, everybody, this workshop was recorded. This recording is available on our YouTube, which is youtube.com/ChicagoDPS. You can also find the slides online if you'd like to just reference them on your own. The recording will be uploaded on Friday, so I can't provide you a link at the moment, but if you, let's see. If you're looking to see when it's updated, I will post on the social media when we've updated our workshop videos. And so you can follow us on either Twitter or Facebook and you'll get the notification that we've updated. But I won't be able to provide you a link at the moment because it's not available just yet. Any other questions? All right, well then with that, make sure to follow us on social media so you can get any updates about future bid opportunities, other programs and incentives, and we hope to see you guys at one of our other workshops. Thank you so much.